The movie starts with a flashback to the quantum realm. Janet Van Dyne is attacked by two creatures. She kills one but is savagely attacked by the other. Someone blows its head off before it can finish her. Janet looks around and notices another man who appears to have crash-landed in the realm with her. In the current day, Scott Lang is reveling in his newfound popularity after joining the Avengers in protecting the world from Thanos. Meanwhile, Hope Van Dyne has taken over her father Hank's company and continues her research and utilizing Pym particles for globally reasons. Scott's experiences have also been the subject of a best-selling book. However, his departure from the quantum realm has stopped him from seeing his daughter Cassie. Scott receives a phone call from jail and meets Hope there. Cassie got arrested for participating in a peaceful protest. Since the blip, she has also been experimenting in science, even beginning working together with Hope and Grandpa Hank. Scott and Cassie join the Pyms for dinner time, where Hank intentionally reveals that Cassie has been arrested more than once. She brings attention to the work they have been doing, such as Hank having an ant farm with his smart ants and Cassie working on a gadget that sends messages to the quantum realm and can also receive signals from another dimension. This causes Janet to panic, and she turns off the device. Before she has a chance to explain herself, the device reactivates and begins to draw everything and everyone inside. Scott chases Cassie down and uses his Ant-Man outfit to keep her safe as they fall into the quantum realm. Hope saves her parents using her wasp suit. The Pyms assemble as Janet struggles to keep them hidden. They are discovered by residents with whom Janet encounters. Janet and the monster laugh it off after a little firefight with one of the people who live there. She is then able to arrange a ride for her family atop a huge flying beast. Other quantum realm residents, which include creatures to several alien-like species, find out the Langs. Scott and Cassie must eat a red substance known as ooze, which is produced by one of the aliens, named Veeb, in order to understand their language. They are welcomed by another native, named Quaz, who has the ability to read minds, as well as Gentara, a rebel warrior who thinks that the presence of the Langs and Pyms will catch the notice of someone they call the Conqueror. Gentara becomes more suspicious when Scott mentions Janet's name. Janet takes Hank and Hope to a pub crowded with other quantum residents. They meet Lord Kruller, a guy Janet befriended, and is supposed to have had a relationship with, during her time locked underneath. While Janet tries to convince Kruller to work with her, he informs her that he works for Kang, the Conqueror mentioned previously. Kruller also makes a reference to Kang's most powerful weapon, a mechanized organism designed only for killing. Kang's agents enter to capture the Pyms, but they battle their way out, and Hank uses one of his expanding discs to transform a squid thing into a giant to seize and hurl Kruller around. The family grabs his ship and disappears. Kang's men quickly attack the rebels before MODOK appears and begins burning some of the freedom fighters. Cassie confesses during the chaos that she has been wearing her own super suit to help her shrink and expand. MODOK approaches Scott and Cassie, exposing himself as Darren Cross, who survived his fight with Scott by going subatomic and destroying his yellow jacket suit, which bent Cross's body and left him as a huge head with small limbs and a stretched-out face. He was also the one who sent Cassie the signal, to which she reacted. The two then get transported to Kang by MODOK. Janet tells Hank and Hope about her stay down there on their way out. When she first met Kang, he pretended to be another lost traveler, and that she could assist him power his spacecraft out of the quantum realm, commitment to return her to Hope. Janet discovered that his ship was powered by his thoughts after reaching its core. When she touched the core, she gained access to Kang's memory and observed all of his atrocities, including the elimination of entire worlds and the destruction of timelines. Kang attempted to convince Janet by revealing he could make it so she never missed Hope's childhood, even though she knew it would mean other worlds would suffer as a result of him. Janet utilized her wasp suit to steal the core and blow it up to a giant size, stopping herself or Kang from leaving. Scott and Cassie meet Kang, who boasts about killing other Avengers in different eras. He demands Scott's assistance in recovering his core, threatening to kill Cassie and make Scott repeat the moment for eternity if he does not. Scott reluctantly agrees, but warns Kong that if he harms Cassie, he will come after him. Scott goes down into the core's location to recover it, but he is trapped in what Modok refers to as a probability storm, which causes hundreds of Scotts to appear. When Hope finds a read on Scott, the Pims fly by the spot. She is surrounded by her own the likelihood as she flies down to assist. Scott's probabilities help him because their entire shared mission is to save Cassie. Hope assists Scott in shrinking the core together. Hope and Janet try to assist Scott now that he has the core, but Kong arrives to grab it from him, breaking their agreement to let Cassie free. He also takes Janet with him and orders Modok to destroy the spacecraft carries Hank, but Hank survives. When Janet refers to Kong as a monster, he says that he is the exiled one among his many versions, and he feels they are to blame for other horrors around the multiverse. He believes that fleeing the quantum realm will allow him to take control of a forthcoming event for humanity. The ants from Hank's ant farm arrive, having almost gone through time dimension displacement, allowing them to develop more advanced in less time than humans have. They assist Hank in getting Scott and Hope to Kang's tower. Meanwhile, Cassie shrinks her suit into a jail, allowing Gentara and the other rebels to charge at Kang's tower. Cassie hijacks Kang's villain speech and directs everyone to the tower to fight Kong. The other rebels are set free and attack Kang's soldiers. Modok attacks Cassie, but she transforms into a giant and strikes him down. Before leaving, she assures him that he does not have to continue being harmful. Scott becomes massive as he moves angrily toward Kong for breaking their agreement. He reunites with Cassie and feels happy to learn that she too is a giant. Hank leads the ants, along with a massive mecha ant, to the tower. Kong leads his own offensive against the rebels, but now that he is taking sides, Modok launches his own attack. He decides to die as Darren, and the heroes surrounding him as he passes away. The heroes enter the tower, where Janet has fixed Kang's core and opened a passage back home. Scott forces Cassie through the door just as Kong attacks him. They battle viciously, with Kong nearly beating Scott to a pulp. Kong tries to go through the vortex, but Hope jumps back to assist Scott in his battle. They use many growing/shrinking discs on Kong to overpower him and destroy the core. Kong is pushed toward the core, where he is drawn into a doorway to oblivion. Cassie successfully reopens the portal to assist Scott and Hope in returning home, while the quantum residents celebrate their win. Scott returns to his life and family, but he gets nervous about what Kong mentioned about something bad happening. He ignores it as meaningless and joins the family in celebrating Cassie's unreal birthday, which he missed due to the blip. Mid-credits scene, a Council of Kong variations discusses the death of the Exiled One and plans to send each of them out into the multiverse in preparation for a massive conflict. Post-credits scene, Victor Timely, another variation of Kong, is shown conducting a class in the early 19th century. Loki and Agent Mobius are among those in the class. Loki warns Mobius that this person could cause a serious problem.